Hello, everyone, and welcome back to OneSoccer. I am your host for today, Josh Deming. I am joined by my colleague, Alex Gangue-Ruzic, and our special guest, Aidan Daniels. Aidan, to start things off, I just want to ask you about your start to the season so far. You've picked up 2 points in 2 very difficult matches. What has your thoughts been on the season so far? The new coach, roster turnover, and pretty much everything all involved.
Yeah, it's obviously been a new start, but I think I don't want to be happy with 2 ties, but we've picked up points against 2 teams we didn't last year, so that's a step. But I think we could have came out with a result in both games with the 3 points, obviously. But playing Ottawa at home and Forge at home are good for us, just based off of the history of our club versus these teams. But yeah, I think that the team's going in a great direction. Our philosophy and the style of play has been implemented, and I think everyone can see that in the first 2 games, and with our can champ as well, that we're going to play no matter what. I think in this against Forge, it got away a bit from us, but we held on until almost the whole game. But yeah, I think it's just fine-tuning little details and getting us over the line. But overall, I'm super happy with the group, the coaching staff, and how the direction of the club so far.
And yourself, Aidan, personally, you've had that chance to have over a half decade of pro experience, but also growing up, you had that opportunity that your grandfather, your father had that, their taste of the pro game as well. So kind of return to that. How was it growing up with, some of those influences that played in the professional game, and how did it inspire you as you've begun and really blossomed into your pro career?
Yeah, it's really a blessing to come from a football family like that. A lot of my uncles played as well. A couple played pro, but yeah, it's just a true blessing to have these type of people in my life, because I'm picking different things up from so many different people. But yeah, shout out to my dad. It's his actual birthday today, so gonna give him a call after this. But yeah, I'd say my parents are my biggest influencers. They motivate me every day. I'm really close with them, so just having them in my corner has helped me become a better player throughout the years, and a better person. But yeah, just with my dad's background, everyone I talked to that knows him said he's the best player they've ever seen. Said he could have played at the highest level and all this if it wasn't for his injuries. But yeah, it's a blessing, as I said.
Well, I guess we got to give a little happy birthday to Mr. Daniels out there, so hope he enjoys that. But Aidan, you came through the TFC Academy. I want to know what that experience was like for you, and did it help shape kind of the player you became today?
Yeah, most definitely. I think growing up in the academy, I kind of took it for granted. We had showers, we got food before and after training, we got tutors, we had a state of the art facility. I think it was one of the first MLS teams to have like a really, really nice facility. So being there at a young age, seeing the pros, how they do their work in the gym, on the pitch every single day was amazing. But yeah, like going there, I was, I think 13 or 12, and staying there until I was 20, was crazy. Just being able to have that opportunity to be in a professional environment at such a young age. And we didn't have the CPL back then, so it was like, okay, it was, the dream was that much closer. So yeah, I think it shaped me most definitely, and all the coaches there were great. They really focused on becoming a better person and not just a better player. So lifelong friendships now. I still talk to a lot of the coaches that coach me in the academy, and even like front office staff and athletic trainers. Like, it was just a big family. But yeah, TFC Academy was definitely a very cool experience.
And then a big highlight for you at TFC is 2018. You get that chance to make your first team debut. How special is that, especially if you look back? 2017, that's the trouble year. That's where they get the first star on the shirt. And, months later, you're out there making your first team debut. How special is that?
Yeah, it was definitely special. I think, all those years in the academy and the grind of USL, TFC2, it was like, all this hard work I put in was was paying off, and it was just a special moment for me and my family. It's something I had dreamed of since I joined the academy, and since I was a kid, honestly, it was just, I'm still speechless to this day, like, to talk about the experience because it was so special to me.
Now, Aidan, back in 2021, you played for the Canada U23s. There were some very interesting players in that squad. You had Farsi, Cornelius, Brim, Buchanan. What was playing in that squad like, and what was the experience?
Yeah, I think anytime you're able to represent your country is an honor. So that's first and foremost. But yeah, we had a special group of players. A lot of guys have exceeded to the next level now, and I'm super happy for them. But you could tell from the first day of camp that all the players on the roster had something special about them, and I think that's why they were chosen. And guys have gone to excel now. But yeah, like Tajon now, with all the rumors to Inter, like, verbal agreements and stuff, it's amazing to see. Like 2 years ago, we were just, in our own rooms in Mexico. Like, we weren't allowed to leave rooms to like chill or anything. But it's crazy to see how fast football can go for you.
And then obviously now you're at Halifax. At the time you were in the USL and spent a couple of seasons down in the States. How do the conversations come up to come to Halifax? And were you always keeping an eye on the CPL? I know when you were with Ottawa, you guys played Halifax. Maybe that was kind of your first introduction to them. But since then, were there any conversations that came up?
Yeah, no. I had a lot of friends and old teammates that joined the league when it first started. So obviously I was watching games when it's first started, but I always kept an eye out on the league. So when it came up, I've been in USL for 6 seasons already. So I thought it was time for a change. Coming home, I was closer to family because, how big Canada is. It's still a pretty far drive and 2-hour flight from here to Toronto. But yeah, I thought it was time for a change. And the league, as I said, even when I joined, the league's growing, and I didn't think there was a better time to come. Some guys were making moves, and then to name a few last year, like Abzi, Latori, like guys have just, been making moves. And I think ultimately that was my goal, was to come here and do really well and see where the game could take me.
Now, you've been playing under Patrice Geyser this season so far. It's very fluid attacking style. How has that been like to play under so far? And does it suit your game?
Yeah, most definitely. I think a lot of critique on my game has been my defensive side. So, if we have the ball, I don't have to defend. But no, I think that this style suits me a lot more. And defensively, I feel like I'm doing a lot more work because we have to press and, do a lot of recovery runs, because if they break the press, we got to get back. But, I think my mentality has changed. He's helped my mentality change. If you defend for 10 seconds, you don't have to defend for 10 minutes, let's say. So yeah, I think if we keep the ball, it suits my game because I like to get on the ball, dribble, combine. And if we're higher up the pitch, that means I'm ultimately closer to scoring or assisting or, impacting the game higher up rather than in our own half.
And of course, yourself, you stepped up, on the pitch. And I think a big sign of, of that heightened responsibility is that you got the number 10 shirt. Obviously, as an attacking player, we all know how special it is to wear a shirt like that. What did it mean when that opportunity to come up to represent that shirt and everything that comes with it?
Yeah, I think everyone in the world wants to be at their number 10 on the field. I just thought that, my lucky number 13 wasn't so lucky anymore. I didn't really have a great season last year, looking back. So, just again, maybe it was time for a change from the number 13 jersey. But I think it's a big responsibility. And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform and be that guy for this team. And I think, this team has so many good players. It's not just going to be about me. It's, we have Massimo, Lorenzo, who have stepped up like crazy. We still have Rampy, who's still one of the best midfielders in this league. So for me, it's just like an opportunity to give my game another dimension. Score more goals, assist more, instead of just he's a good player. I want to add some cement into my game. But yeah, everyone, as I said, everyone wants to be the number 10 jersey, and I'm very happy to have it this year.
It had to be a difficult decision for you because we know how important number 13 is to Canadians because of Atiba Hutchinson. So, I mean, I respect the decision, but looking at the number 10 specifically, was there any number 10s growing up that you maybe looked up to and maybe wanted to build your game off of?
Yeah, obviously the number one guy was Ronaldinho. I looked up to him most definitely just because of his joy. He loved the game. He was always smiling. But then again, like I watched Barcelona since I was young, and when Messi took over the number 10, it was, you know what I mean? It's self-explanatory, really.
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldinho loved the shout on that one. But I guess speaking again, last question, but question number 10, speaking of number 10s, a lot of 10s going on here. But in the early days of the CPL, a lot of the guys that moved up, they were defenders, they were midfielders, goalkeepers. Those were kind of, what's been in demand. You look at Waterman, Latourie, James Pantemis, etc. But last year was huge because you see Sean Rea, you see Marco Bustos move up, showing that, okay, these creative players that come to this league, get your goals, assists, defend hard off the ball, can get those moves. How important is it seeing that, and what is it, what kind of motivation does it give to add those sorts of details to your game, knowing that, creative player like yourself can make a move?
Yeah, credit to those guys. They've shown out in this league, and I think all the praise to them. But yeah, seeing that, it's just an extra motivation because if I believe in myself, I know I can create. And seeing those type of players that are similar to me make the moves is it's just like, if he can do it, why can't I? You know what I mean? So I think that it's just an extra motivation for me, and hopefully this year things go well for me. But most importantly, I want the team to do well and give back to this great community that we have here in Halifax.
All right, Aidan, that's all the time we have for the interview today. I really appreciate you giving the time to come on here, and I want to wish you best of luck for the rest of the season because I'm pretty sure you'll be in for a pretty good season.
Thank you. I appreciate that.